Jaden stood at the boarding gate, clutching his first-class ticket with excitement. It was his first time flying alone, and he was eager to meet his father at their destination. But the moment he handed his ticket to the flight attendant, her expression darkened. She sneered at him, her eyes scanning his modest clothes. Without hesitation, she tore the ticket in half. "You don't belong in first class," she scoffed. "Step aside." Passengers gasped. Jaden's heart pounded. He had every right to be here. But the woman had no idea. His father wasn't just any passenger. He was the owner of the entire airline. Keep watching. Jaden, a 12-year-old boy with a kind heart and an adventurous spirit, had always admired his father's success. His dad, Jonathan Reynolds, had built Reynolds Airways from the ground up, breaking barriers in an industry where black leadership was rare. Today, Jaden was flying to surprise him at a significant corporate event. Dressed in a simple hoodie and jeans, Jaden hadn't thought twice about his appearance. But as he stood frozen at the gate, watching the shredded remains of his ticket fall to the floor, humiliation burned in his chest. The flight attendant, a middle-aged woman with perfectly styled blonde hair, crossed her arms. "I know a fake ticket when I see one," she snapped. "I don't have time for games." Jaden tried to explain. "This isn't fake. My dad bought—" "Enough," she cut him off, rolling her eyes. "Security." A security guard approached, frowning as he looked between Jaden and the torn ticket. Other passengers murmured in concern. A man in a suit shook his head. "That boy showed a real first-class ticket. I saw it," he said. The flight attendant scoffed. "Please, first class isn't for his kind." Jaden clenched his fists, trying to hold back tears. He had been taught to stay calm and handle situations gracefully. But this was blatant discrimination. He pulled out his phone with shaking hands and dialed his father. The call went straight to voicemail. "You're holding up the line," the flight attendant snapped, grabbing his arm. "Come with me, or I'll have you removed from the airport." But before she could drag him away, a voice cut through the tension. "Is there a problem here?" A tall man in a sleek business suit stepped forward. His deep brown eyes locked onto the flight attendant with quiet authority. He pulled out his phone and tapped the screen. The airline's logo flashed under his name, Jonathan Reynolds, CEO. The color drained from the flight attendant's face. Jonathan's voice was eerily calm. "Did you just rip up my son's first-class ticket?" The flight attendant stammered, her confidence crumbling. I thought he was lying. He doesn't look like a first-class passenger." Jonathan took a deep breath, steadying himself. "And what exactly does a first-class passenger look like?" His voice was razor-sharp. Passengers watched in silence as the reality of her actions sank in. The security guard stepped away from Jaden, realizing his mistake. The flight attendant's hands trembled. "Sir, I didn't mean—" Jonathan raised a hand, silencing her. "Reynolds Airways prides itself on excellence, not discrimination. You just humiliated my son in front of all these people. You didn't just disrespect a passenger. You disrespected my family, my company." The woman opened her mouth to argue, but Jonathan was already dialing HR. "Effective immediately, you're fired." The flight attendant gasped, but it was too late. Jonathan turned to his son, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Are you okay?" Jaden nodded, though his heart still pounded. "I just don't get why people judge before they know the truth." Jonathan sighed. "Ignorance, son, but today you showed strength, and people like her, they learned their lesson." As they boarded the plane, Jaden's new ticket in hand. Passengers clapped. The man in the suit who had defended Jaden gave him a thumbs up. As the flight took off, Jaden glanced out the window, knowing this was a moment he'd never forget. It wasn't just about flying first class. It was about dignity, respect, and prove that no one should be judged by their appearance. If you enjoyed this story and found it thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in this situation? Your support helps bring more eye-opening stories to life. Where are you watching this video from? Let us know in the comments. Take care